Un tagad ir pienācis laiks, lai mēs uzklausītu pienesumu no Somijas Nacionālās izglītības padomes izglītības padomnieka Leo Pahkina. Viņa uzstāšanās tēma šodien - izglītības satura reforma Somijā 2016. gadā. Kas tas ir, kāpēc tas jādara un kā tas tiks darīts? Klausāmies un domājam, kas no tā interesē un dara mums. Paldies. Lūdzu, jums vārds.
So good afternoon and greetings from Helsinki. So I'm very, very glad that I got the invitation to come to this conference to tell about the Finnish curriculum reform. So I will share my presentation in 3 different parts. First part will be some kind of introduction about to our education system and what is the core curriculum on this system. And then I will tell about this reform and backgrounds, why we are doing what we have done already or doing at the moment. And the last part will be something about the implementing, how we can make our teachers and our school act as we like to. Okay, I will use this one. So here are some facts of Finland. Actually, I know that you know Finland quite well already because we are already almost neighbors. And what I like to share from this slide is that Finland has quite a big area, and mainly it's forest. So we don't have natural sources like gas or oil, so we can't come rich by this way. And that's why we have to invest somewhere else. And well, we have a saying in Finland that we have woods and heads. So we are investing to heads at the moment. And also, interesting thing is also that we have 2 national languages. So we are doing everything in 2 languages. Even our kids have to study both languages in our schools. And that's just the basement. They have to also study some foreign language, at least 1 more. So all our students are able to speak at least 3 different languages. Then there are some pictures of Finland as we are known or popular in the world. We have a lot of saunas. They say that we have saunas more than any country in the world. Almost 2 million sauna. So if you make a small calculation, you can see that 2 person per sauna. So there's a lot of room for everybody. So we are also technological country. Nokia phones may be known. We still have a Nokia company, but nowadays it's concentrating to the networks. Ice hockey is very popular in Finland. Our national game is baseball. Actually, it's copied from the United States. We have our own rules, of course. Santa is coming from Finland, you know that. We are very proud about our education. I will tell more about why. And the last picture actually telling about the animals what are living there in the north. You know the reindeers. They are transportation system for the Santa. And also it's telling something about the character of Finnish person. You know, the reindeers are half home animals and half wild animals. So we are civilized, but also not so civilized. So we have also all those problems which every country are having. Alcohol problems, violence problems, behavior problems in schools, everything like that. And we try to solve these challenges every day in our system as well. So, but also this picture maybe tell about our future or direction where we are heading. So if we compare the international or global movements, what has happened in education and what we have done in Finland, what kind of reforms we are done there, you can find these 3 differences, the main differences. So first one is that we are not giving exact standards for our schools, what they should do. We are giving a lot of freedom for them and also a lot of freedom for the teachers. But you know, when you are giving freedom to somebody, you always asking also some kind of responsibility. So it's not totally free that what you are doing there in the classrooms. You all the time to do your best. We don't have an inspection system in our schools, but still I know that there's every day, every lesson, there is almost 20, 25 inspectors. And if they are not happy, they go home and tell mother. So, and then start some kind of processes to making solutions for problems. And then about what we are teaching in our schools. The main target or aim is how to learn the best way. It doesn't matter actually what. We try to find the best solutions every day. Even the society is changing, students are changing, youngsters are changing, everything is changing. We try to all the time to find the best solutions. When we find this, then comes what we are going to teach. And then no checking. We don't check textbooks, we don't check teachers. So we believe them, we trust them. So that's quite a big difference. Well, where our curriculum exists. Actually, this is the timeline of development of basic education in Finland from the beginning of the 70s. So we twist from dual school system to 9 years comprehensive school model. Actually, all the Nordic countries follow the same road. That time we had the national curriculum. It was one curriculum for everybody, and everybody have to follow it. Next time, when we are talking about the rising time, we try to do something new, because all type of learners were in the same schools. We needed to do some new way of teaching and learning, research also. And we launched, or let me call it, trial of framework curriculum. So there was several schools who started to do a lot of things by their own. Planning, teaching, and we followed the results and noticed that this is good. Let's keep it and let's spread it all school in Finland. So next time, 1994, we launched curriculum framework for all school, and it included only 128 pages, and that's all for 9 years basic education. So it's not much. It includes all the main targets of different subjects and also main content only. That's all. I was that time in a school. Of course, we were afraid about what's going to happen now, and asking the other school, have you done something? Can we borrow that? But that was not the purpose. It was purpose that everybody have to start thinking about what you are doing in school, planning your own job, own task, own work. And that happened, and next time we changed curriculum after 10 years. We started to call it core curriculum, and again we are doing this reform every 10 years. And there is several reasons, and actually today you have heard a lot of reasons why we need to change our curriculum again. And one more thing is decentralization. We have give power to the teachers and the school at the same time. This means autonomy of the schools. So here you can see what our school can do. They have own plans, curriculum, annual working plans, budget, requirement of staff, decision group forming, profiling by content. If they want to be an art school, they can do it without any permission or license for it. It's up to them. And also, what kind of materials they are using in the schools, or are they using technology or not? That's the weak point actually, because we can't push or force them to use technology. They have to find out that useful for themselves, I mean teachers. And then also pedagogical autonomy of teachers. They are professionals. They study at least 5 years in a university. Master degree level is the minimum requirement for teachers. Every teachers, even class teacher have to do it. So they are professionals. We can trust them that they know what to do. Then why this is this change is going on now again. So you already heard about the technology, but this is the point of view of student or pupil or child. Increasing in uncertainty, meaning that comprehensibility is decreasing. Problem of choice. There's so many choices available and competing about the education and teaching and learning and studying nowadays. What's to choose? Which is important to me? It's hard to make choices. And then individualism, anonymity, consumer society, materialism, instrumentalism, all these means something that the meaningfulness is less and less easy to find. So, what to do in this big change in the world, or big change in the society? Well, also we can follow the big paces of industrial revolutions. I took this slide because I tried to explain that in Finland, education is not above everything, even we are doing quite well. I have to say that. But education is not below everything. It's the middle in our system. Every day I have to say almost 1,300,000-400,000 people are involved somehow to the education. They are student or they are teacher or something like that. So it's a big part of our people are somehow on this system. So when we look at industry, it's only one part of our society, but there is individual people who also need something what the education should offer to them. So education is in the middle and offering the both ways, working forces, but also the individual things. So here you can see that the big wave started after big innovation like steam power or electricity, ECT. I don't know what is the next big innovation, maybe something dealing with the green energy or energy supplies itself. I don't know. But then also what we are teaching nowadays in our school. I borrowed this slide from Linda Darling-Hammond. She's a professor in Stanford University and visited Finland some years ago, and we find out something interesting. That here are some different tasks or working or jobs in the United States, and they followed each task every 10 years what has happened to them. They give index number 50 and follow this index. It means the importance, how much money is moving on this sector. And they notice that those things what we really do in our schools is not so good. They are easy to teach, they are easy to test, but also easy to outsource. So that's the fact. And what are increasing? Actually, they are this non-routine analytic, analyzing the big data, for example. It's very important to understand about the phenomena from the big data. And also this interactive things, which computer probably can't do yet, or robots. There are human beings who understand the gestures. We already heard about that. So, and this also includes ability to communicate with the different people coming from abroad, using different languages, using different kind of gestures, behavior, understanding this, and so on. A lot of things needed still. But these are things what we should do in our school more than we have done before. So putting emphasis to this more than knowing things, facts. In the other words, Pirjo Stoll is working in the University of Helsinki. She liked to say that there's three things: doing, knowing, and being. Doing. All important and the most influential outcomes are produced by cooperation and networks. I'm a mathematician and I used to study alone, working alone, solve the problems alone, but this is not anymore working. We should share what we know already and learn something from each other. That means sharing. Knowing, it's also more and more decentralized, both technically and socially. Most important thing maybe is nowadays that we should know where the knowledge is. Who knows? And being, our identity is hard pressed in the world, constant change and global information flows. Actually, I visited Zurich EBM laboratory, and they told their very interesting news about the knowledge. That all the time they are talking about the knowledge is increasing exponentially. Yes, it is. But how or what is the content of this knowledge? Actually, nowadays I'm using this fact also when I'm talking to my son. He's sometimes very lazy in school, not doing much. And if I ask something, he said, I don't need to know that, I can Google. But I saw the one interesting thing that all the new knowledge actually is not increasing so rapidly as all information in our society. This all information actually includes communication between the machines or some kind of indicators which are sending messages to the computers. And human beings are not able to understand that without computer. It can translate that language to humans only. But the real knowledge is not expanding so fast as we are thinking. That's why. But still, knowledge, well, there is good knowledge and not so good knowledge later on. Nowadays, maybe we can call that, let me say, 50-50. 50% of the knowledge there in the internet is useful, and less of the rest are useless for us. Let me say so. But after 5 or 10 years, there will be something like 20% useful information, and the rest are useless. And how you can Google that time? Of course you can do it, but still you have to be very critical for all the information. And that's why, my son, you have to study to understand the phenomena and be critical for this information. Of course, we are facing the problem or challenge how to move these changes to education, how we can carry them. And actually there's three things what we need to do. First thing is that how our students are learning. What is the best way? As I told you already, we are focusing on learning, not talking about what we should teach in mathematics or in science. More important is that, how they do. Importance of students' own experience and activities, feelings and joy. Students who are feeling very well in lessons, they learn better. They remember those moments better. I don't mean that lessons have to be all the time something fun and enjoyable for them. I mean that there have to be good atmosphere. Humor is very good thing to carrying things to the children. Then we have to think about the school culture and the relation between the school and community. Schools are very important, actually. When we look how much time is spent during the day in the schools, especially in Finland, when we are looking all the people who are involved somehow with the education. And then we have to think about also the roles, goals, and content of different school subjects. And how we are doing. Maybe you know that some years ago, was it 2006, European Commission gave a recommendation of key competencies. Was there 8 or 9 different key competencies? So we start thinking in Finland, what we should do. Should we just take them and put them in our school, even as a subject? Well, maybe it's not a good idea. So we start thinking that let's wash all these key competencies so that you can't find any subject on them. So there is no mention about the language or no mention of math or science skills or etc. So these are common for all subjects. We can't say that thinking is only for mathematicians. Thinking can be done everywhere, in every subject. So that's why we shared these key competencies in another way. And now you can see these 7 different key competencies there. And in the middle is the main thing, the development as a human being and as a citizen. Human being is that part of pupil or let me say population, people there. And the citizen is how you are part of the society. It can be a working forces or something like that. But here you can see the education is important still, and it's in the middle. And this is the example what we should do in our lessons. And this is just a very simple examples how we can change our teaching, very simple way. If you want to increase curiosity, allow questioning. Don't ask questions. Let the students do that. Don't give answers to them too easily. Actually, we changed our science teaching. Actually, this is our secret of good success in a science studies, international studies. We turn around upside down teaching. We start thinking about the phenomenon out of the classroom first, and then we try to bring this phenomenon to the laboratory. Of course, we need to simplify it somehow, but anyway, the phenomenon should be carried to the classroom and make a demonstration there, and try to find, well, we can measure speed, temperature, light, whatever, and try to find a connection between these measurements. And finally, it's simple math actually. We can find the formulas and try to make an explanation for the phenomenon outside the classroom, and maybe later on theory even in a university. So this is the way actually how all the researchers are working. First they start be curious what is happening there in the nature, and our students should do the same. And this is also guaranteed that students are not first given those answers like we did before. We draw a formula to the blackboard and then we make a demonstration to prove that this formula is working. No, not anymore this way. And so on. If you want to develop problem-solving skill, link the school knowledge to real-life problems and encourage pupils to work together to seek solution. And here, not everyday problem of teacher or everyday problem of society, maybe more or less problems which are very close to students' life. Ask them, and one more time ask them. What are the problems? What they like to share, what they like to solve. And so on. Many good hints what you can, very small changes, do these changes very easily in your classroom to have a better atmosphere and find that what we are teaching actually is not so important. And then we already talked about this assessment, and actually this is a very important part. Giving feedback, I like that part very much, because this feedback is very important. Well, psychology people normally say that it's very good that if I say that you are good, but if this person hear that I have said to somebody that that guy or that boy or girl have done very good job, it's even more powerful way of saying that or giving feedback. Well, we are humans. It's good to know at least 2 persons are thinking that I'm good in this way. But what we like to change in our system more or less is that assessment is not in the end. It have to be all the time, like you already heard. And Well, everybody who has do some sport as a competitor, you know, being in a competition of sport, after the competition, maybe there was a good luck and you get medals or not, but your coach probably give feedback to you, and probably they start that, well, you did very well, quite a well, or something well, you know, and not starting that you were not good, because it's not building anything. So you have to construct your future, telling that it was okay, you did well. But next thing what they should say is not use but word. They should use and words. And if you do this and this for next, you will maybe be better than today. And one more thing is that we should not tell, even in a school, that you have to read more, you have to study more. It's too general. We have to give exact things what the students should do, like a sportsman. They should know exactly what to do to perform better. And the students really like that if we just pointed out what you should do, exactly. Well, this is the picture nowadays in our schools as well, in anywhere. So we teach something same for all, top down, to the test, to cover content. And this is like a big competition for teachers, to run all the content through and then take a test and check them. We believe that the learning is to the test, discipline, no initiative, competition, comparison, individual. And then comes the assessment, to ranking students, who was the best, who was the second best, etc., and so on. And what we like to change is this, that all this teaching, learning, and assessment should be in the same time. They are part of the same process. Students are not studying for the test. Actually, this testing, I'm not sure, but maybe less than 20% of the students are enjoying testing only, and 80% are hating it. They don't like it, and still we are doing it. And then giving feedback is not only one way, from teacher to student. It should be also students should give feedback to the teachers. If the teacher are doing not well or doing something what the students don't like or they don't understand, the teachers should change. And how to do it? They need feedback from the students. We can't read the minds all the time. We have to talk. We have to give the paper. Please write down what you want to change. Give me feedback as well. Then we have to share understanding of the goals and how we are going to assist. What are the part of the assessment? Working results, sharing. Sharing is nowadays also one criteria maybe in assessment. What you can do, show the others, and so on. Flexibility of means and working methods, how you would like to work. Would you like to work in a corridor maybe, or in a library, or somewhere else than in a classroom? It's possible. And then the learner have to demonstrate what they have learned. And we have to give opportunities to use hands, minds, drawings, computers. We can act, we can give a play, whatever. All is possible. And finally, we also, for the first time, giving this core curriculum for the school and teachers in the internet. Not just sharing a file. Actually, it's a structured form there. And we also made some meta files there that you can somehow search information from there. If you are interested about the assessment, you can just write down assessment, and it try to find the places in our curriculum where we are talking about the assessment. Actually, it's not looking for this word, but we have somehow put metaphors there to telling that in this part we are talking about it. Even it's not mentioned, this word there. So this is just a service for the schools. And they can also use this software when they are doing own plan or own school curriculum, using this as a base. Well, and one more thing, we need to ask, and we did. We ask, what are the most important issues that help me to learn and enjoy myself in school? And our students, 550 students in Helsinki 2013, they answered this question, and this picture, you know this technology, how to do it, those bigger words there are telling what is the most important. There is no computer, no technology. Actually, the first thing what is friendship. The main reason why the students come to school is friends, actually. Not teachers, I'm sorry. They are coming there because their friends are there. And then the next big thing is also very important. It's appreciation, that somebody appreciate them. Their friends, but also teachers appreciate what they are, what they can do. Thank you very much. That's all.
Paldies. Thank you very much. And what if teacher becomes a friend? Does it work?
Yes. Well, teacher can be a friend of the students, of course, but they, in Finland, we are calling each other for the first name. Teacher are not teacher, or our students are not using the last name. They are always calling by first name. And that means that we are quite close as a friends, but not the same way as they are together friends. Teachers are a little bit, you know, we are adults, we are steering, or we are captain of the class still. But the friendship is there still.
Thank you very much. Liels paldies!